So if it's not a function, it's a relation. The value of x that you're assigning here in the order pair, this corresponds to the domain, and the values of y correspond to the range. So if I were to go to list of the domain, would be -4, 0, 3, 5. For the range would be 0, -2, 1. You don't have to repeat 1 again, just one time. So let's take a look at an example here. The domain of this function would be the value of x. Here it says -infinity to infinity. And there's no restrictions there, right? Because this line here goes to infinity. This line here going to continue going all the way to infinity. This line here going to go all the way to infinity. So for every value of x, right, I can find a corresponding number for y. So there's no restrictions there. That's why the domain would be all real numbers. I can pick any number in the x-axis and find the corresponding number for y-axis. However, the range only goes from 4 all the way to -infinity. Because if I ask you if y is equal to 5, what is x? Can you find a number? Can you find the order pair? No. Because your graph is not going to go above 4. So only go up till 4 here. So the range would be all the numbers from here all the way down. All the number from -infinity to 4. And okay, so let's take a look at another example. If f of x is equal to -x squared, what is f of 2? Now, f of x, we're saying, is equal to -x squared. Now, because this negative is not surrounded by the parentheses, the only base here is x, all right? So if I want to find f of 2, I only have to replace x with 2 and leave this minus alone. So that's why here is minus here, and this is 2 squared is equal to 4. So the answer here is equal to -4. Let me change the function to g of x. So I want to call it minus x squared. I'm going to include that minus with that square. So if I were going to find g of 2, now you're going to include that minus. So what is that equal to now? Now this is your base is -2. -2 times -2 is equal to +4. So that's the difference there. So this would be -4 in this case. Okay, so the question is, what do you mean by f of 2 is equal to -4, really? So remember, I said instead of f of something, I can call y. If I replace it with y, instead of f of x, I'm going to call it y. So this is really a parabola, remember? So these points that you're finding here is really the point on the graph. So when I ask you what is f of 2 is, means when x is equal to 2, what is y, which is find is equal to -4. So really what we're finding here, we're finding an order pair that passes through this graph at that point. So really is 2 and -4 is a point or one solution to this equation. So that's what it means. So in this case, g of 2 is equal to 4. So if I look at it as an order pair, you're saying if x is equal to 2 in this g function, y is equal to 4. So this point here is one solution or one point on this graph here. Y is equal to -x squared. Okay, here we want to find f of 2 for each function. F of 2 means when x is equal to 2, what is y? Does that tell me by looking at this order pair? Looks like it's right here, right? If x is equal to 2, y is equal to 6, right? So f of 2, just by looking at this order pair, I can say f of 2 must be equal to 6. So we want to find f of 2, the y value of the order pair, whose the first component is x is equal to 2. So this is the order pair 2 and -6. So f of 2 would be equal to 6. So what is f of 4? F of 4 must be equal to this other point then, right? So when x equal to 4, y is equal to 2. Okay. We want to refer to the graph of the function. We know this is a function, passive vertical test. Find f of 2 on the graph. So that's all you have to do is just find when x is equal to 2, what is y, right? So let's if I had the order pair like that, if this is x and this is y, if x is equal, this is x, remember? This is correspond to x. If x equal to 2, what is y? I don't have the equation, but I can look at the graph. If x equal to 2, what is y? 1 if x equal to 2. So what you do is locate 2 on the x-axis, move up to the graph, and over to the y-axis, and bingo. F of 2 is equal to 1. Okay, refer to the graph of the function. For what value of x is f of x equal to 0? We're asking you backward now. So if I look at the order pairs like a chart, if this is x and this is y, we want to know for what value of x, y is equal to 0. So what I have to do now? Look at my y-axis. So this is when y is equal to 0, right? You start from here, and you want to know at what point your graph gonna passes the x-axis. Now, what is that? 4. Looks like it's 4, right? So we're going to locate 0 in the y-axis, move across the graph of f to 4. So there it is. F of 0 is equal to 4. This is not correct, right? Let's just correct it. The values, let me delete all that. Okay, let's go back to this. This number here corresponds to what axis? X-axis, right? This number here corresponds to what? Y-axis. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 4. When x equal to 0, that's a wrong number, right? When x equal to 0, that's a misprint. Yeah, they wrote that wrong. When x equal to 0, what is y? 2. So let's fix that. Locate 0 on the y-axis. That's right here. Move across the graph for f to be equal to 4. Okay, so f of 4 is equal to 0. You're asking for what value of x your f of x would be equal to 0. As you can see here, this point here, we have 4 and 0. When x is equal to 4, y is equal to 0. So you want to know for what value of x, y is equal to 0. This is your y-axis. This is 0. You go across. This would be the point. So that point here is equal to 4. So this is correct. It's not the misprint. So the answer would be equal to 4. So once again, this would be when x is equal to 4, y would be equal to 0. They're asking you this backward, really.